Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gad, your host. Now, a user requested this two natal chart comparison, compatibility, possibly twin flames. We'll find out. Um, but it's with the moon, the Gemini moon, which will be November 23rd, 12:43 a.m. So that's what you see in the middle there. That's the Gemini moon. Transit chart, space chart. To the left is the female who requested this reading, and to the right is the male. So we've done her chart, so we're not going to analyze it again because we just did it recently. We're going to focus on his, compare the two, especially with this Gemini moon. Now, again, this is a Gemini full moon. All right, first I want you to look to the chart in the middle. That is your Gemini full moon transit chart, space chart. And remember, this is around holiday time, holiday season. The moon is at 0 degrees. The next 3 or 4 full moons from now to 2019 will all be in 0 degrees. Terry Nasan explained that as saying you're finishing up with one chapter of a book, moving into a new chapter, but it's all intertwined. So it'll be a new beginning, but it's a new beginning that's connected to something else that's already going on. So the closing is still going to be connected to the new opening. Full moons usually bring some type of closure to whatever happened with the full moon 2 weeks prior. Also, because of a lot of retrogrades, we have a lot of people digging in the past. People are being contacted from people in the past. Even we're going through a feeling of nostalgia where we're taking ourselves back to the past some type of way. So you're dealing with the moon, the feminine inside, the emotions, things that may be hidden, but it's opposing the sun, which is the ego, the intellect. So you're going to have that going on because of the retrogrades, such as Neptune retrogrades, as there is going to be confusion. Things may look a certain way, but are not. So they're really telling you be careful of decisions you're making, because decisions you're making may be based on these feelings with these retrogrades and this moon, and that's not really how you really feel, and you'll have a rude awakening. Neptune is going to be deceiving people with Pisces energy, where they think things are a certain way. Oh, this is the one, this is the way I should go. But again, it's a deception. So they're telling people do not get caught up in holiday spirits. Do not get caught up on idealism where you're going to regret that decision. And they're even telling you to watch your money because of these retrogrades. Because you got Black Friday. Mercury is retrograde. Therefore, you will also have communication problems. Be careful because equipment may stop working. So you go out and spend a whole lot of money when actually it's still not going to necessarily work because you're in a retrograde. If you had just waited for the retrograde to subside, it would have been working anyway. Back your data up. Back your data up in case of any type of power outage or shortages. These things happen, especially lately. We just came out of a nor'easter, so that's when power goes down too. But all around a retrograde, Mercury retrograde, these things can happen. So I was trying to do that to get that out of the way. So, before we just say, well, are they twins and yada, 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 you want to just get the vibration of what's going on in the universe and will be going on in the universe for possibly the next 2 days or so. So let's just start at the ascendant on the full moon chart in the middle. It's all about Virgo and Aries. First house, Aries and Virgo. So your wherever your Virgo is, whether it's your 6th house or where your Virgo sign is, because Virgo rules the 6th house, you're going to see a little bit of Aries aggression. Now, Virgo is all about critical analysis, detail oriented. It's also about the home, healing, children, homeland security, co-workers and subordinates, small children, small animals, the home again. So that's the ascendant. So that's kind of like going to be the mood. That's going to be the mood of the day at this time. So now in your 6th house, which is Virgo, you have Gemini. So you're going to be really affected by that Gemini moon at 0 degrees. So you'll be having some type of communication going. Something might be going on with children again. Talking to the chart on the left, the female requested this because both Gemini and the 6th house work with children. And also might be some healing of Gemini ways, because Gemini ways are short term. Not necessarily a bad sign, but sometimes Gemini doesn't want to go deeper. So that's why when you see a connection between Gemini and Virgo, the Virgo is trying to help Gemini be a little bit more in depth. Not just saying, hey, how you doing? Okay, that's good, and wants to keep it moving. But Gemini has to get to the point where you're actually having communications with whoever. Since the Gemini and Virgo are really focusing on the children, and the universe is focusing on the children right now because they're really looking at Leo, and Leo rules the 5th house and is associated with children. That's why if you look in the 12th house of the universe, that's the chart, the transit chart, space chart in the middle. Leo is in the 12th house. But if you've really been studying or listening to this channel or just do astrology, they've really been, the universe has been working on Leo more and more. But now let's go to the 5th house real quick on the universal chart. See, the 5th house is all about karma. Saturn's about karma. Pluto's about Leo, possibly in a past life, because see, my moon sign in the 8th house is Capricorn. So my past life, I was a Capricorn. Now my sun sign now is Leo, and my true north node, which is the present life, is now with Cancer in the 2nd house. So in my past life, I was maybe a little bit too career oriented, a little bit too reputation oriented, that I didn't take time out for the family, the kids, and things like that. And in some ways, I'm making the same mistake again in this life, because sometimes it's just easier to try to hang out in our south node, but we have to get to our true north node if we don't want to end up with bad karma or doing this all over again. So right now, Leo is being pushed by the universe to overcome that desire to want to control or organize everything, and that desire to be more business minded than fun minded. So in that 5th house, Pluto is trying to find its way in to actually upset Leo, transform Leo. Sometimes Pluto has to kill you in order for you to resurrect. So that's what's going on in the 5th house with the Leo energy. So I wanted to cover that now, since the 12th house on the transit chart is Leo, and the 12th house all about endings, reckoning, going into the subconscious mind, addressing those secrets, addressing those fears. So you have to be very, very, very ready to address it or be exposed by it, because Pluto will expose it. And remember, Lilith retrograde can deal with repression, abuse, and things like that. So all this Leo has to be aware of. Because a lot of times when your twin soul or your soulmate comes into your life, these are the reasons why you two don't connect. Because you got all this karma that you have to really deal with. Most people don't even know about it, don't know what it is. And even if they did, they may not have the emotional strength to deal with it. And it's just easier. It's just easier that even though it's painful, it's still easier to watch the person walk away and get away. Because they may not be ready to deal with our crap, and we might not be ready to deal with their crap. And it is what it is. Purpose of videos such as this one helps people to realize these are things we really have to be mindful of to work on. So now we did Capricorn. So when we go to her first house, Capricorn's right there, Uranus and Neptune. Now, right now in the universe, Neptune is sending foggy information because it's retrograde. And as I said, Capricorn is primarily wanting to deal with karma. And remember, Capricorn rules the 8th house of career and reputation. But right now, it's dealing a lot with karma. And you see that Mars? See, right now is not a good time. Right now is not a good time to be dealing with Mars, especially in the first house. And that's your first house. Because right now, Mars is spazzing out with Uranus coming out of the 8th house in Aries. And Aries rules the first house. So this really is a time to try to watch what comes out your mouth. Watch how you respond. And because of all this retrogrades, it's going to be foggy feelings anyway. So you might be feeling a certain way. You might want to comment on something a certain way. But unfortunately, you're wrong based on the universe. So you have to be very careful how you say it and what you say. And also right now, because of Sagittarius placement in the universe, Sagittarius in the 9th house, right now a lot of people are questioning truth. And sometimes that leads people to become, see, the sun is right next to Jupiter in Sagittarius, but that's overconfidence. You got to be careful of overconfidence. And then Mercury is going to make it hard to explain because, again, I'm at the chart in the middle, and this is the 4th house of family. And what are we doing with family right now? Well, Thanksgiving and everything else. So we have to be very careful because, again, you may be a Baptist, church-going Baptist. You might have a brother or cousin, somebody's Jehovah's Witness. Somebody else might be New Age. Somebody might be Islam. And this can all blow up because these are all ideas and theologies and personal beliefs. And people are just being pressed on by the Mars, by the Sun and Jupiter, in Sun conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius, to be talking anyway. And then it's hard to understand because the person might say something. And with Mercury retrograde, you think they're being disrespectful when they might not be. But that's how it seems. And now you feel like, well, now I'm going to have to check you. Oh, your religion ain't none but boom, boom, boom. They made your religion up in the back of a shack. So these things can blow up because of the Sagittarius energy. And if you just watch where Uranus is right in that area as well. Just because Uranus might be in the 8th house does not mean it's still going to affect the 9th house, because from 29 degrees, the very next degree is 0 degrees, which is really like entering that house. So it's going to be really dramatized energy. So where she has that Mars at, and then that whole Capricorn thing, because again, a lot of this is going to be past life. It's going to be karma, and also it could even be connected to her career. See, her first house with Capricorn there could be connected to her career. And if you notice, Leo is right there in her vertex. So Leo is going through some universal stuff right now. And if you see his ascendant is Leo and is a vertex. But it's also Juno. That's interesting. That's interesting. See, she even got Leo in the 8th house, which is definitely like soulmate. Vertex is there, soulmate. Could possibly be a twin soul. But see, this is going to be a very problematic, because you got a Mars energy. This is the first house, and you got Capricorn. See, she's got a lot of karma going. So her So whoever this guy is with the vertex, she got to be careful because they're gonna have karma. This is why, like, when you meet your twin or something like that, y'all have great sex and then go into separation, and you're trying to figure it out because you had a karmic debt, and that karmic debt can be part of pain. It could be embarrassment. It could be a lot because it all depends on what you did in the previous life. All right, go to the second house of the space chart, Libra, and the second house with Venus. So it's all about ain't no romance without the finance. But it can be partnerships, relationships, open enemies, contracts. This is all in the second house with Venus. So now we want to find what's going on with Libra. So they said Libra rules the seventh house, so for her it's still going to be some family situations. But again, just have to be careful of the Mars power and everything I mentioned, the karmic debt. And then we'll find where's her Libra at. See, her Libra's right there. And that's her sun sign and her moon sign. But she was born on a new moon. So so that's karmic debt. See, Libra in the 10th house is definitely going to be a karmic debt. Why? Because the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and that's ruled by Saturn. So she has to be careful only right now because there's kind of a lot of deception out there. Doesn't necessarily mean it's deception, but she has to be careful because right now in the second house, the universe is saying, all right, time for Venus to get a little love and a little relationship in the second house. This could be a partnership with money. And you always have to be careful because remember, the second house is supposed to be your money. So the moment you throw a partner up in there, you're taking a chance because now you're saying, oh, share my money and all that. And it's almost starting to sound like you're turning your second house into the eighth house, which is other people's money and shared resources. Because what happens in the second house, if you're not careful, you'll put your money up, but then you're gonna lose it, and then you're gonna feel kind of sad because you're like, wow, this guy, took my money and then giving it back or whatever, and now I know I can't trust him, but either way, the money's still going. So I gotta be real careful with that one. So in your 10th house, where you got Libra, and Libra in the 10th house could be something that has to do with marriage or the law or partnerships, open enemies. And just gotta remember that the environment is the space is gonna make it seem like this is a good move, but it may not be. So again, to slow things down and really try to figure out, that might be wise. And then you have other people that say, listen, no matter what we do, life is not gonna be perfect, so I'm just gonna dive in. And that's up to that person. It's their life. They'll be responsible for it. So that's pretty much the Libra. Now let's see his Libra. Third house is Libra and Gemini. So once again, new moon. So he too might be seeing some type of new communication, a new relationship regarding Libra energy. And remember, he's got Lilith there, retrograde. So there is going to be some level of repression he has with Lilith in relationships in his third house. So you want to make sure you understand Lilith, because you don't want to you know, some people dive into a relationship and just make hell. It's almost like they wasn't even trying to make it into a good relationship. They just dive in and it's all hell, and then they finally get sick of each other or start hurting each other even worse, and just finally break up. So this is something that has to be thought out and planned. That's why it's good people get the natal chart, get a little bit of insight of what's going on. And then in his seventh house is Aquarius. This is someone who wants some type of free relationship. You know, I'll be with you, but don't think you're gonna be calling me all the time. You know, Aquarius, as long as you give them their space, they can date you. But the moment you start to say, hey, well, I need you to be here. Hey, I called you. Why didn't you pick up my call? Hey, why didn't you call me back? You know, I called you 3 hours ago, and you know, I was plenty of time for you to return my call. Aquarius ain't trying to hear that shit. Not in the seventh house. And plus, in the seventh house, they really like alternative relationships. They like different type. It could be same sex, but anything that's like not the norm. Aquarius in the seventh house just want to be Aquarius. They ain't trying to conform to Jack Dilly squat. Not in the seventh house. So if you almost had an Aquarius in the seventh house, this person are really they don't want it like that. Now, let's just say that was the person's natal chart. Now either they're that way in the seventh house, or they're gonna find somebody that's that way in the seventh house. I guess it all depends on what the placement is. But either way, this seventh house Aquarius, to my chart on the right, he's not trying to he likes alternative relationships, one way or another, whatever that means. And also he ain't trying, that's not the guy you want to have on speed dial. Not all the time. Don't keep doing it. He might pick it up once. But if you think all you gotta do is pick up the phone, like that song, all you gotta do is call, not him. Not all the time. He might pick it up once or twice, but if it seems like it's gonna be regular, that dude gonna be like, oh no, you got the wrong idea. I ain't trying to talk to you all the time like that. And Virgo and the universe is trying to heal Aquarius in the sixth house for Virgo. But again, that's all homeland and help it out in the community, and like I said, young children, even animals and stuff, animal activists. All right, we already did Pisces in the seventh house, so wherever you have Pisces at, are they really trying to get your love? But Mars is there too. See, they say Mars can make it passive aggressive, or remember Pisces rules the 12th house. But we already proved that right now the universe is trying to get Leo in the 12th house to kind of like come to closure. Don't duck the issues, deal with them, and come to closure in the 12th house. For Leo. And Pisces rules the 12th house. And Neptune rules Pisces in the 12th house. So they got it kind of like and remember, Leo can be small children too. Because that seems to be a theme with this Gemini moon. Because remember, Gemini is the third house, and that's small children too. So the small children just seem to be the theme right now for the Gemini moon. So with Pisces can and Neptune, It could be kind of deceptive. So if you get in a relationship right now, you might be basing it on deception. Like you may really think this is a good move. And it's important to note that your seventh house, the chart on the left, has Mars, and so does this seventh house. So might be a little fiery going on with Mars in your relationship sector, seventh house, but also it's going to be with your 6-9, your family as well. His seventh house is basically saying as long as she gives me my space to be me, it won't be no problem. Now his true north node is in the 8th house. It just left the 7th house. And ironically, he is a Pisces. And his ascendant is Leo. So he's got a lot of closure going on. So he's got a lot of internal stuff going on too. So you got to remember that. But that's why I say everybody's diving in. But sometimes it would be nice to wish that people are not going to do it. But it would be nice if people slowed down a little bit, got their natal charts and tried to talk. Because otherwise, like I said, you might be dealing with somebody who has a lot of stuff they need to work out in their Pisces or in their 12th house. And, you don't really know the person. And you're trying to figure them out. So he's a highly psychic person. Why? Because he's got Pisces in the 8th house. A very, a lot of watery sign. So he's pretty much psychic. Probably an empath. So let's find out what's in his 12th house. And there you have it, just like yours. Mars and Pisces. So he's got a whole lot of issues with family to resolve. And remember, Cancer is family, teenagers, income. All right. And where's her Pisces? Her family as well. And then you got a Saturn retrograde. That's a past life of dealing with rebellion against authority and things like that. So that's something she has to come to grips with too, is how she relates to other people, especially in the home sector or family sector. And he's got to come to grips with that kind of too, one way or another. Not exactly like her, they both got their own, but it's similar. So, wow. So ninth house is Sagittarius, but he's got Aries there, so he may actually be actively trying to go somewhere in physical body or thought. Because that Aries is definitely going to be there aggressively. And remember, these are all fire signs. So Aries is in the first house with Leo, his ascendant. So he's not no pushover. And when he kind of sees his mind made up, it's the way his tendencies are going to be. That's why I said that Aquarius in the 7th house is, I'm with you, but that don't mean you're going to have me on speed dial. That don't mean you're going to be having no long conversations when it's other things I want to do. That don't mean. So he's not going to be a pushover. And also, if you notice, his Leo opposes Aquarius. So his first house, which is supposed to be IM, which is the Leo, and the 7th house is we are the Aquarius. 10th house. Wow, that's his sun sign and moon sign. So they got that. They got that in common. So he probably was born around the new moon too. Yep, 10th house is her too, with Libra. And again, Libra in the 10th house, that's your career. It could be marriage, counselor, some type of business partnership, contracts, legal situations. But either way, in a placement like that, you might even meet your twin flame, or soulmate, or your person you're going to be in a relationship with. You might even meet them at work. And so that's for the 10th house, new moon. And the bull is in the 10th house. But remember, the second house is also about finances. So this guy is kind of money conscious. Good communications. And her Taurus is in the 5th house. So that Taurus can be attractive, but they're very sensual. But they have to be very careful with money in the 5th house, because the Taurus will get caught up in a moment and really start wasting money and just having fun. It can be very sexual and sensual. Because Taurus is like touching and things of that. They like massages. They also like to eat. So a Taurus in the 10th house, again, that's usually somebody's dealing with some type of money. But Taurus can also deal with sex or health, any form of sensuality. So he has a pretty good 10th house. Going on to his 11th house, friends, association, groups. Again, he's got Jupiter there, Mercury. All right. He has a good 10th and 11th house. See, he's a people person. Ascendant Leo, they love people, like to be in the forefront. Aquarius loves attention, and that his true north node just missed it. But even Pisces is real inspirational. So his issues are very much gonna be with the 6-9. The fourth house, the family, teenage to adult education, land and property, the health, possibly the Imum Coeli. So pretty much if you could really work on communications, and the Gemini moon is supposed to be about communication, but the retrograde makes it kind of difficult. But that would be the move you want to make, is to try to have open conversation with him, mutual respect, because that'll help him in making his decisions in life. Now, we'll take another look. So when you go back to her first house chart to the left, I'm just going through the houses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She had Aries aggression. She even has Aries in a family sector, and she has Mars in the family sector. So this time of year is that. And see, like I said with him, he's got Mars in the family sector too. So you just have to be careful. All right. So far, so seventh house is like family for her, but it's not to the eighth house. You see the vertex, so that means she's going to find herself in some type of fated event, or a event of destiny with either Gemini, with either Leo energy or Scorpio energy. And his ascendant is Leo, and he's got Juno there. All right. So all about that eighth house for her. Yep, all about that eighth house for her. Scorpio energy or Leo energy. Go to Leo, that's his ascendant, and go to his eighth house of Scorpio. Is his true north node with Pisces. And if you notice, her Saturn retrograde is in Pisces, and his Saturn retrograde is conjunct Neptune retrograde, which is Neptune rules Pisces. They both have new moons in the 10th house with medium Coeli. And medium Coeli is always part of your life, your true north node of your life purpose. All right. So now her Juno is in Scorpio in the 11th house. So she keeps connecting back to his 8th house or his Scorpio. Scorpio, he has Pluto retrograde in the 4th house. All right. And that's a true north node too. 11th 11th house. She got a lot going on in her 11th house. True North Node. Well, she look at all that stuff she got going on in her 11th house. Mercury, Juno, True North Node, Jupiter, Venus, Pluto. And then Scorpio is a sign. So her house is, her 11th house ain't no joke. And we studied that. I forget what we called it though. Stellium or something. I forget what we called it. All right. So now, so her 11th house, Aquarius. And ironically, because even in the universe, Aquarius right now is the vertex, a fated event, or the karma, or destiny. So she might be getting ready to see something. All right. So you see his 7th house is Aquarius. True North, no. His Scorpio is Pluto, but his 8th house is Pisces. True North, no. All right. So to keep it 100, I would see him as a soulmate because he hits it, but it's like a wound, like somebody shoots you, but it's a wound. It's like a wound. Whereas when it's twin flames, it tells a story. Like you would say, oh, you might find yourself in a relationship with a Scorpio, and when you find his Scorpio or his 8th house, you could tell, definitely. Or you say, like even with the True North Node, but they're close though. They're kind of close, but it seems like more like a karmic connection, but not a twin soul or nothing like that. But even if you follow the Cancer, they have Neptune and his ascendant is Leo and her vertex is Leo. All right. Where's his Taurus? Sun sign Taurus, sun sign Taurus. Where's that Taurus? All right. All right. All right. So they definitely have like a karmic contact, karmic relation, and it can still be love. It's still like a soulmate, but it's not the twin. And again, that's why I said I'm gonna shoot that report over there because I always give the free report, and it'll tell you the 8 stages of a twin flame relationship. It'll tell you the stages and stuff because a lot of people don't even understand that. And some people they just go with the feeling. So if they get with their soulmate and it feels good, they'll say, "Oh, this is my twin," but that's your soulmate. That's not your twin. And then, but if their relationship is horrible with your twin, they'll go, "Oh, that's a fake twin. That ain't my twin." You and your twin soul, y'all got like karmic in it. They hurt each other. A lot of twin souls, twin flames, they kill each other and stuff. Like in past lives, they kill each other and stuff. Then in this life, they be arguing, and then sometimes they finally get past it. So that's what it is. Now, I will also be shooting over to her because I did a full thing. It's for anybody that paid for it and just requested this full moon because I studied that. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, hour 30 minutes, I forget. But the expert came on first. I was reading his stuff, but he was real technical, so I let him stay because he said some good stuff. And then I came in because I was more down to earth. So I put mine first, put him behind me for people who either they requested this full moon and Gemini reading and they may get it for that reason, or they can request and get it. But that was a lot of work put into that, so that's not going to be readily available because that's for whoever requested. That's like a treat for them. So if you want to know more about this full moon in Gemini, because it's changing everything. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. So that's going to conclude this, and we have a whole lot of sales going on. You can contact the ministry. You can also contact me in the description box. If you want to get started on your natal chart, all you need is your month, day, and year. If you don't have your birthday, we can ask the archangels, city, state, and if not USA, put the country. And I usually ask male or female. You could put it whichever one. And always write out things so it's crystal clear so nobody makes a mistake as what you're saying. Alrighty, God bless.